good example is the open space, but within reason, and so that's gonna vary from project to project, and I know for a lot of things now, you'll take the space you're given, so it's just making that work, but then also just having access to other resources and proximity, because realistically, you're not always gonna have a professor there with good experience monitoring the room at all times. So even if that's the case, being in a place where it's accessible to go to one of their offices and talk to them. So proximity and location is what it goes back to for me.
Can you think of any examples with like where you have seen a company or an organization take an already existing space and then utilize it in a good way?
Yeah, so I'm a teaching assistant for design for manufacturing, and in the basement of the engineering building, we have a machine shop where we teach some of our labs, but then right next to that, they put up some dividing walls where the TAs, we have our office hours too.
Oh, okay.
So that way, we're right next door if the students ever need help with anything. And then also safety reasons, because you don't want people left alone with really fast spinning sharp blades.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is that?
The basement of the engineering building.
Let's see.
It's a really old building, it's like the original engineering building, but they kind of keep adding expansions, and this is the oldest part of it. So it's pretty grungy, but it's home.
I don't know, I feel like in our day and age, the whole tech company startup is a big thing. And I feel like every time I see, I don't know, it's just movies, because it could be that I could be biased towards movies or whatnot, but every time I see a picture that they look like it's just a gutted building with a bunch of desks right next to each other, and I don't know if that's an
Oh, yeah,
environment.
for
that
creative
works.
space.
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing there, you just have a bunch of people all right next to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, like I like the whole like glass dividing wall thing, you know, where they have, like it's still an open environment, you can see people and interact with them if you want easily, but you still have your own space in a sense.
So you're talking about like the library space on the first floor?
Yeah, something like that.
I like that.
Sure. And even like kind of those like translucent
Mhm.
glass, like
Yeah,
I know they
or
have it like
frosted.
Peterson. It's like frosted glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can kind of see what's going on. You can approach people.
Yeah, you can
or
feel
tell
involved
if they're
without
too busy.
being like intrusive.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Can you guys think of any examples aside from this one where space was not utilized very well to like to be productive and enhance your experience?
I think the library first floor, second floor, too open. There's noise carries. They didn't take into consideration how sound travels and that. So when people are talking, it's gonna bounce off the walls. If I ever go to the library, I'm not trying to hear about all the sorority girls' like last night out and everything. As
Yeah.
fun as that is, but not my reason to go there.
Right.
Or guys, sort of fraternity guys.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's 2018.
Maybe you could speak specifically on like the Biz Hub. What do you like and dislike about the Biz Hub?
It's about like I can reserve my own room.
Mhm.
I feel like it's my own space with the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it has a lot of things made available to you if you needed them. I mean, they have like the whiteboards, they have the TV if you need it, I mean, everything else that you could really ask for in a study space, I would think. And in addition, they have like the little cafe and stuff, which I guess I don't really utilize, but someone might, you know.
It's nice to like know
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, just to like have that near you, and if you do need something, it is available.
A good bathroom too.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the bathroom. Is there a bathroom?
that's nasty.
No, I'm saying like that's something. I
Oh, that's
would-
something important. It's
Yeah.
to have a good bathroom.
Like-
Gosh, I was like, the Biz
Bathroom?
Hub has a good bathroom?
The bathroom over there, which is right outside this up, is old
Ah,
and needs
gotcha.
people now.
Yeah, like there's ones that are just like the EPB one. Like
Oh,
Ew.
yeah.
my point. Yeah, exactly. And so like if you're in a place where your most basic needs can't be met in a comfortable manner, you're not going to want to spend much time there.
Yeah.
So I think to work on big things, you have to take a step back and implement the basic things first.
Definitely, because a good bathroom, that's gonna like make you maybe stay at this place longer.
Exactly. Yeah, like the leaking sinks, I'm not sure where that water on the ground came from, if it
Yeah.
even is water, and so.
Yeah,
All right,
some of,
cool.
like amenities, the water bottle
Of
holders.
course. Is there any other things, like basic needs wise, that
you would like a place to maybe have?
The water bottle fillers that are on like some of the filtered ones.
The ones that tell you how many bottles you
Yeah, I get really motivated by that.
There should be more of those.
Yeah,
'Cause it's a pain to try and fill a bottle here.
sure.
I prefer a modern looking space than an outdated one, I guess. I can imagine
Yeah.
that would be a consideration to build an outdated space.
Right.
I kind of like the tile classrooms where like I can plug my computer in here and the TVs can play from multiple angles so people from all over the room can see.
Mhm.
But then also a way where you can adjust it so only certain TVs are playing for certain things.
Sure.
Like we have that in one of the lecture halls I teach in where you can turn certain projectors to one thing and others to another just so that people from different sides of the class can see things differently. So
Yeah.
there's different group projects.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
It's like multi-screen. Nope. Okay, so I think we're gonna show you some examples of these kinds of spaces that we've kind of been researching a little bit. So keep an open mind because we have a literal blank slate, but these are just some examples to kind of maybe spark your interest, maybe get the gears going on what you would prefer, and also think about what you don't like about these spaces. So if
You
that,
just have to push on for the display over there.
that was weird timing. But yeah, so have you guys ever heard of like a collab space?
Yeah.
So kind of like merge downtown and things like that, where you are working in a collaborative environment with lots of different people working on different projects. So, at first glance, which of these four is your favorite?
C looks like it's very not productive.
A little distracting.
I mean, they have a picnic table, which seems unreasonable.
I like it for meeting style, like it's
Yeah,
more
it's
casual.
definitely cool.
With fewer, and the plants are nice, but that's a bit eccentric.
So you like plants?
I mean, they give a nice touch.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the engineering buildings don't have windows, the labs and everything, so you kind of get lost in there. There's no clocks on the wall.
Mhm.
It's like a casino kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Natural.
And you never win there, so it's the same thing.
So not C,
Yeah.
which one out of those
I like
other
B.
three do you like?
I'd say
B?
B as well.
B,
These
okay.
are my favorite. I think there's
Cool.
the best variety of seating and workspace.
Cool. So let's go through all four and pick out the likes and the dislikes. So in A, what do you guys like?
Like, it seems like there's a lot of space available if you needed it. I think you could just throw more desks in there if you
Mhm.
wanted to. But the lighting is all very artificial, it seems like. Just kind of,
It seems like a cheap build out.
yeah.
Yeah. They're definitely going for that, I don't know, would it be considered like contemporary, like
Yeah.
not actually from like industrial
Mhm.
look?
Honestly, I can't sit here, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of materials or resources available to them there. It's kind of just a space in itself and nothing else.
How do you guys feel about just like, as specific as like the chairs, do you guys like those kinds of chairs?
No.
No.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, anytime I'm in a spinning chair, I'm gonna spin. the
Yeah.
entire time.
I like that part. Too much, like too rigid, I get like stiff and I lose interest really
Uh-huh.
quickly. I like the spinning part, but